Hello. So, real quick, I wanted to get on here and talk to all business owners, small business owners, and encourage you to keep going. Last night, I went home and my daughter, Beauty, who's 8, and she was like, Mom, she's always talking. She said, Mom, she said, I want to start a business. I said, okay, cool. I said, what business, what kind of business do you want to start? And so she started rambling. All these different types of businesses. And I said, well, we need to narrow it down. Well, she finally narrowed it down to writing a book. And I said, okay. And I said, what is your book going to be about? And she was like, The Life of Beauty. And I started cracking up because I think it's cute because Beauty's only 8. But I mean, she's lived a little. And so she started talking about how I have a business, how my mom has a business, and how my sister has a business. And I was like, wow, like she's really watching. She went from wanting to work at McDonald's to wanting to work at Denny's to own her own business and writing a book. And sometimes we don't think our kids are watching, but they're watching. She's 8 and she sees her mom, get up day in and day out and go clean. I have a cleaning business. My mom has a cleaning business, and my sister, she has her own salon. She does hair. And sometimes we think our kids aren't watching, but they're watching. And now she's encouraged and she's motivated to start her business. But what really got me was her reasonings behind her wanting to start a business or to write her book. And so I said, okay, well, why do you want to start a business, or why do you want to write your book? I said, give me 3 reasons. I want you to write them down. I said, I don't want you just to do stuff just to do it. I said, usually when people start a business, it's not just about money, but they're meeting a need. I said, so what need are you going to meet in, starting your business? And so she wrote down 4 things, and I don't have them with me. And my poor baby, she's in 3rd grade. She spelled almost all the words wrong, but she has some good reasonings. She said that she wanted to teach kids how to be good and not to be tempted to sin. I was like, what? Then she said she wanted to be able to help my cleaning business and to help her family. And she said she wanted to be able to help her friends and talk to people about getting baptized and filled with the Holy Ghost. I mean, she just went on and on and on, and it was so cute. And some of those things she doesn't quite understand. But the fact is, when I told her to write her reasonings down for wanting to start the to write the book, she had a list of reasons, and it was to help other people, and that just melted my heart. And sometimes we think we work hard, and we think our kids are oblivious to what we're doing, but they're not. They're watching, even if they don't say anything. So I want to encourage everybody who has a big business, or who has a small business, or who hasn't necessarily birthed a business, but they're pregnant with one, or you have the idea of that business in your mind. Pursue it. Go for it. You don't have to have all the money. You don't have to have all the knowledge, all the experience. I believe that God will back you. Our babies, our children are watching us. They are watching us, and they're seeing what we're doing, and they want to implement it. There have been times I've lost contracts. There have been times money is tight. There are times money is tight. There are times where I'm not I never get any sleep. I'm sacrificing sleep, or I'm sacrificing time with my kids. And there have been many a times I thought, like, man, was this even worth it? Like, I can go get a job. I can do other things and not even, have to deal with this. But my baby is watching. She's watching what I'm doing. She's watching what my mom is doing. She's watching with what my sister's doing. So they're just not watching us. So it's very important who we have our children around, because they're soaking all that in. They're like a sponge. They're taking all that in. And because she sees 3 of the most important women in her life doing this, she too wants to do it. She's being influenced. We are influencing her unintentionally or unaware. And now she wants to do something of her own. Not only that, her reasoning for wanting to do that is great. So what if I had quit when it got hard? I teach my kids, we don't quit in this house. You finish what you start. Now, there may come a time where the season is up for that particular thing, and that's fine, but we don't quit. She played basketball. She wanted to quit. I said, absolutely not. She was tired. You quit when the season's over. We start what we finish. That's one of the number 1 rules in our house. We're not quitters. And so if I had quit, or if I had given up because it was hard, she may still want to work at Denny's, or be and there's nothing wrong with working at Denny's, because my mom worked at Denny's, or being a gas station attendant, but she wants to create something. She wants to build something of her own from the ground up. And if I would have quit, she would have had that desire. There have been times when she put on her little green Made from Above t-shirt, and she helps me clean, and she makes money. And at the time, she doesn't want to do it, but it's building her character. It's teaching her that anything is possible, that she can do anything that she wants to do. And so I'm glad that I didn't quit. I'm glad that I didn't get discouraged. I'm glad that I started, even though I didn't have a lot of startup money. I remember when I first started and I got my first commercial contract. So I've been cleaning houses for forever, starting at $9.50 an hour, scrubbing toilets. Horrible. But hey, you got to start somewhere. And so I started cleaning. I got my first commercial contract, and I've been there for 5 years as of October 1st of this year. And it's a suite of salon. And I remember at the bottom of it is a bank, and at the top is the salon. And, you know, I had a $3 little, everybody probably has it, but a $3 little gray pail from Walmart and a few towels, some Windex, and I think some Lysol. And there is, I'm not going to name the company's name, but there's a company that cleans the bank, and they had their big old truck with their logo. I mean, they came on with their backpack vacuums. They had all the high-tech stuff, and I just shriveled up. I was like, oh my gosh. So I waited till they went in and took my little bucket and stuff and went upstairs. And it took a while to build that confidence, but I couldn't wait until I got to that level to start. I'm sure whoever owns that company, I think it said over 35 years of business, they started where I started. And so I say all that to say, don't be afraid to start. You're not going to start with everything. You may not have all the tools in your tool case. You may start with what you have, because your babies are watching, somebody's babies are watching, or somebody is watching. Don't be afraid to start. Do not despise the days of small beginnings. What if I just quit because I didn't have what this big company had? My daughter wouldn't be encouraged and inspired to do what she sees her mom doing. It wasn't even the fact that she wants to do the business it made me proud, but her reasoning behind why she wants to do what she does. And so I made her brainstorm. If she already has her little title, and if she carries through this, I'm gonna publish my baby's little book, because I believe in her. I believe in her. So I encourage you, if you're struggling, if your business seems like it's going under, if you don't got the money, you can't meet payroll, keep pushing and take it to God, because somebody's watching. It may be your children, it may be your grandchildren, it may be somebody else's baby that you don't even know who's watching. It may be a grown person who's watching that says, hey, if they can do it, I can do it. It's not going to be easy. And it's not supposed to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. Somebody is watching. I'm watching all y'all on Facebook or whatever. I'm watching. And seeing other people continue helps me to continue. But most importantly, it helps our children to continue. At one point in time, Beauty was saying she wanted to be a YouTuber. You know, no. I mean, I'm not saying that she couldn't be a successful YouTuber, but a business owner, an author, man, that's awesome. And that is something that's attainable. And so don't give up on your dream. Don't give up on that goal. Don't give up on that vision. Keep going. The word says, if we can believe with God, all things are possible. It's possible for me. It's possible with you. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not making $9.50 an hour in Linden Estates, scrubbing $2.1 million homes no more, on my hands and knees scrubbing floors. God has elevated me, and I went more from residential to commercial. And to be a one-woman show, I'm making pretty good money, and I plan to expand so my daughter can see, it's good to start, but it's not about where you start. It's where you finish in the process in between. And so I encourage you, don't give up on that business. Don't give up on that dream. Don't give up on that goal, because if my daughter's watching you, I'm sure your son or your daughters or whoever are watching. And I know my sons are watching me, but I'm mom and they could care less. But I know they're watching. And I know what I'm doing is going to have an impact on them, whether they say it or not, whether they speak it or not. And so my daughter is seeing me persevere. She's seeing me be encouraged. She's seeing me sacrifice, and she's learning these things so much so that she wants to start a business. And I wrote 2 books. So she wants to start a business and she wants to write a book. And so I'm going to encourage her. She's 8 years old, but so what? I started in my late 20s, early 30s. She can start at 8. She starts now. I can imagine where she would be by the time she gets my age, which I just turned 41 on Friday. And so again, I encourage you to keep going. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what the facts say, like we're taught, my pastors. We got faith. There's facts, but then there's faith. Man, I'm keeping my eye on the harvest, and I'm really pumped now because my baby's watching. So I done published this book, and I got to promote it. I got to grow this business because I have to have a blueprint for beauty. So be encouraged, be steadfast, and don't quit.